The trial began. The courtroom was packed. Journalists, activists, citizens. All hungry for justice. The details when spoken aloud brought tears to hardened reporters. Anita's father, Gary Lynch, sat stone-faced. But his hands, they trembled the whole time. The defense tried to plead for leniency, said the men had troubled pasts, said they didn't mean to kill, but the judge was not moved. Each of you, the judge said, showed not an ounce of remorse. Your actions were calculated, callous, and pure evil. Life without mercy. 5 were sentenced to life imprisonment, without parole, without hope. John Travers, Michael Murdoch. Gary Murphy, Michael Murphy, Leslie Murphy. 5 names etched into Australia's history, not as men, but as monsters. Aftermath. A nation on earth. Public wanted more. They demanded the return of the death penalty. Petitions gathered thousands of signatures. But the law stood. Life meant life. Anita's mother and father, Grace and Gary, dedicated their lives to supporting victims' families. They helped form the Victims of Homicide Support Group and spoke at schools, events, at forums about violence and loss. They never found peace, but they found purpose. People survive horror by forgetting. Others survive by fighting. The Lynch family chose the second, because forgetting Anita was never an option. Room 57 reflects. What do you call a group of people so far gone? They find pleasure in suffering. Not killers, not criminals. Demons. Real ones. Not with horns or tails, but with eyes that never blink and hearts that never beat. They walked among us. And one night, they took a girl who just wanted to get home. They didn't care who she was. They didn't care what she meant. They just cared that they could die, and that should terrify us all. Part 4. Legacy and Cultural Impact. Anita Lorraine Cobby is no longer just a victim. She is a symbol, a scar carved into the heart of a nation. And her story, though brutal, is not just about death. It's about everything that came after. Because from the darkest of nights, some choose to light a flame. The Lynch family, turning grief into perpetrators, and Gary Lynch were not just Anita's parents. They became pillars of strength for thousands. After Anita's death, they could have disappeared, could have vanished into silence and mourning, but they didn't. They chose to speak. They stood before microphones, in front of crowds, and relived the horror again and again so that others might be spared. In 1988, they co-founded the Victims of Homicide Support Group.